My name is Patricia Morrison, 79 years old. I've been married to my husband James for 35 years, a second marriage for both of us. James had two daughters from his first marriage, Teresa and Janet, both in their 50s now. James and I lived on a beautiful piece of land that his late first wife had left to her children in her will. The arrangement was clear. James and I could live on the land for the rest of our lives. Then it would pass to the children. We had a mobile home on the property, which James owned outright. It was our home for 20 years. Last month, James was diagnosed with terminal cancer. He went into hospice care. His daughters, Teresa and Janet, visited him frequently those final weeks, which I thought was touching. They'd never been particularly close to me, but I appreciated that they were there for their father. Then James died. I found out about my husband's death 3 days after it happened. Not from his daughters, but from my neighbor who saw the obituary online. Teresa and Janet had immediately cremated James with no service, no notifications to me, nothing. When I tried to call them, they wouldn't answer. When I went to the mobile home, my home, I found no trespassing signs posted everywhere, not just on the mobile home, but on the entire property. Then I saw the for sale sign. They were selling my home and claiming they owned the land. That's when I discovered what Teresa and Janet had done. While James was dying in hospice, barely conscious from pain medication, they convinced him to sign documents transferring ownership of our mobile home to them. They'd also tried to change his life insurance beneficiary and had emptied our joint bank account of $47,000. I received an eviction letter handwritten by Teresa, telling me I had 30 days to leave their property. They claimed that because they now owned the mobile home, they owned the land too, and I was trespassing. I was devastated. My husband had just died, and his daughters were trying to steal everything and throw me out of my home. But Teresa and Janet forgot something important about me. Before I retired, I was a paralegal for 40 years. I know property law, and I knew exactly what rights I had. I called the attorney who'd handled the original will when James's first wife died. Mr. Chen, can you pull the documents on the Morrison property? He reviewed everything. Patricia, the land belongs to the children, but you have a life deed. You have the legal right to live on that property for the rest of your life. They cannot evict you. What about the mobile home they stole from James? That's trickier. If James signed it over even under duress, it's legally theirs now. But here's the key point. The mobile home is sitting on land that you have the legal right to occupy. They can own the mobile home, but it's illegally parked on property where you have residency rights. That's when I understood. I couldn't get the mobile home back, but I could make keeping it impossible for them. I drafted my own eviction notice, professionally worded, legally sound. I posted it on the mobile home. Teresa Morrison and Janet Morrison, the mobile home you now own, is illegally situated on property where I hold a life deed. You have 30 days to remove this structure from the premises. Failure to comply will result in legal action for trespass and unlawful occupation. Additionally, you will be responsible for all costs associated with removal and restoration of the property, including resodding the lawn where the structure currently sits. I also filed an injunction with the court preventing them from selling the mobile home while it sat on property I had rights to. Teresa called me furious. You can't do this. Dad gave us this home. You're just a bitter old woman. Teresa, your father's first wife, left this land to you and your sister with a life deed for your father and his spouse. I am that spouse. I have the legal right to live here until I die. You can own that mobile home, but you cannot park it on my property. Remove it, or I'll have the sheriff remove it for you. We don't have money to move a mobile home. You had money to steal $47,000 from our joint account. You had money to cremate your father without telling me. You had money to hire a lawyer to draft fake eviction notices. Use that money to move your mobile home. Janet tried a different approach. She showed up crying. Patricia, please. We didn't mean to hurt you. We were just trying to protect Dad's assets. Janet, you manipulated a dying man into signing documents while he was heavily medicated. You stole his money. You cremated him without notifying his wife. You tried to steal property you don't own. You're not protecting anything. You're committing elder abuse and theft. The court ruled in my favor. Teresa and Janet had 30 days to remove the mobile home from my property. If they failed, the county would remove it and charge them for the cost. They were also ordered to return the $47,000 they'd stolen from the joint account, plus pay $8,000 in legal fees. They tried to sell the mobile home before moving it, but potential buyers discovered it was sitting on property they didn't own and that moving it would cost $15,000. No one would buy it. Teresa and Janet ended up paying $15,000 to move the mobile home to a trailer park 20 miles away. They got it moved just hours before the deadline. They also had to return every penny of the $47,000 they'd stolen. The property now has fresh grass where the mobile home used to sit. I planted a small garden there, tomatoes and herbs. Every time I water those plants, I think about how Teresa and Janet tried to steal my home and throw me out while I was grieving my husband. I'm 79 years old. I've lived on this land for 20 years. James and I built our life here. His daughters thought an elderly widow would be easy to intimidate and evict. They forgot I spent 40 years as a paralegal specializing in property law. They forgot I knew exactly what rights I had. They forgot that legal knowledge doesn't disappear with age. I still have my life deed. I'll live on this land until I die, just as James's first wife intended. Teresa and Janet paid $15,000 to move their stolen mobile home and returned the $47,000 they stole. They tried to scam a dying man and his elderly widow. Instead, they learned an expensive lesson about property law and underestimating elderly women. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you never miss revenge stories like this.